Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the importance of learning to fight. When I was a kid, my dad had me take karate. And I did karate for a long time. I stopped for a little bit, and then I went back into karate, and I eventually became a black belt. But during the process of karate, I did not appreciate it. I thought it was somewhat of a waste of time. And by the time I was done with karate and I was able to go to the gym, that's when I felt happy. I thought, the gym, this is something that I'm going to actually utilize in the real world because I'm always going to be lifting heavy things. I'm going to need to look strong. But that's when I realized karate is different. Sure, you don't look strong, but you become strong, especially if you utilize the moves that you learned from karate in the real world. But the thing is, you're not necessarily going to be fighting in like one of boom, 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 these forms that they teach you in class. I mean, when you're in a fight, you're going to be fighting, right? You're not going to be doing these karate moves. You're going to actually be fighting. And that's when I started to lose respect for karate again. Well, by the time that I crossed my fraternity, in my junior or sophomore year in college, there was this one day when one of the parties, it got super rowdy, and there was a guy that was beating up other guys at the party, but he was doing it in a funny sort of way, where he was drunk, and he would pretty much pick people up and just toss them. And people were getting hurt when he was doing that, but people were like, wait, we can't mess with this guy because if we tell him to stop doing that, then he's going to toss us. So at this stage, I'm looking at this guy from far away and I thought, if he comes near me, I don't know what's going to happen. I may just end up fighting him and it's going to be a huge scene. This is a college party, so there are all these cops around the area. I don't know what to expect. He's going from guy to guy to guy, picking them up and just dropping them on the ground. Some guys are trying to fight back, but they're not doing a good job. There's a little tussle going on, and then eventually they get tossed. It's happening to different people, and eventually this guy comes towards me. But when he comes towards me, he wasn't approaching me in an aggressive energy. He was making some jokes, and as he's making some jokes, he's like, yo, Armani, what's good, bro? You forgot about me? You're not gonna say what's up to me? He gets a little too close. And that's when I thought he was going to try to toss me too. And I kid you not, I do this one move on him that I learned in karate. This is basically when you grab both of his shoulders and you swipe one of your legs underneath his legs and you just bring him down. And I did that in such a swift motion that this guy had no clue what to do next. I pinned his arms down, and if he wanted to get up, I would headbutt him. These moves were subconscious. And that's when the different people in the party, they separated me and this guy. And this guy was furious. He was like, what the heck, man? I wasn't gonna drop you. I didn't know that though. And that's something that I learned in karate. Whenever you sense some form of threat, what you need to do is you need to create space and view this person as a threat. Because if you're just over here keeping your arms down, you're just chilling, this guy can punch you out of the blue moon and you're knocked out. So the way that I behaved on a subconscious level were from things that I learned in karate. And here I was, thinking that karate was useless, not knowing that me doing these simple moves, me doing these graduations, going from yellow belt to eventually a brown belt to eventually black belt. And by the way, there are different belts in between. I'm not trying to list everything out right now. All these different belts, it was a process and it was in my muscle memory. So when a situation like that came up, I knew that I could fight on a being level. Not that I'm fighting all the time, but simply knowing that there is some muscle memory of me fighting in my being level, in my nervous system, makes me feel confident. And I'm not trying to be one of those guys that's going in different scenarios and making myself open to fighting people. I actually have the opposite philosophy. I think you should avoid too much conflict, especially in these weird scenarios like clubs. I mean, people are all drunk. They're trying to pick a fight. My philosophy is just avoid these scenarios. But you never know when you will be in a scenario like that. And if you don't know how to fight at all, you are going to be good as useless. You can't always, have a weapon on you, have a gun on you. Every now and then, your fists are your only weapons. And if you have no clue how to use them, then you will be in trouble. I believe learning how to fight, and especially if you're one of these younger guys listening to this YouTube video, you're a younger guy and your dad put you in karate. You may be at that stage where you have no clue why you're in karate. You may think it's a complete waste of time. Other people are saying, "Oh man, karate, that's not a real combat." But understand that your dad knows what he's doing. Now, you don't understand it yet, but as time goes on by and you are in a situation where people are threatening you or threatening someone that you're with, and you feel that sense of calm, you're saying, "Look, I don't want to have to put hands on you, but if you threaten me, I will." In the back of your mind, you have that sense of calm. That's because your dad put you in karate. And now you are reaping the rewards. So if you have no clue how to fight, I get it. You're a pacifist. You think violence is not the answer. Doesn't matter. You could be a pacifist, but be a pacifist that has the hands. Know how to fight, because you never know when you need to use your hands. If you enjoyed today's talk, drop that like for me right on below, and hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, and never miss another episode again. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.